Yes, welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. It is the press and my guests are here already. I have two people in the house with me today, a gentleman and a lady. Let us begin with the lady this morning. She is Hamedat Abdulsalam. She is a dynamic change maker dedicated to advancing human rights, gender equality, social justice and climate justice with a strong foundation in research, advocacy and strategic program development. She's also a social analyst and a social commentator. Hamedat, it's so nice to have you,
Thank you
on
for
the show
having
today.
me.
Yes, and of course we have our usual friend in the house. He is Comrade Duke Alamboye, is the president of Nigeria Youth Organization and chairman of Green Assembly. Is also a social commentator, an analyst, one who has the love of Nigeria in his heart. The only reason why is called here now and again to come help us understand what is going on. Duke, it's so nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much and good morning, Nigerians.
Yes, so we have two core trending stories that we shall be taking a look at today. It is the only story, more or less, beside every other thing happening, in the polity, and in the hearts of Nigerians as a people, which is the River State story that will not just rest. And of course, the recent one, which is El-Rufai. He too has been there hovering, but what happened yesterday is what is making the news, and everyone is talking about it. Is his defection from the APC to the SDP, who is the latest bride on the blog. So those are the two core stories that we shall be taking a look at. But before we begin, I would love to ask about your state of mind on, generally, like I love to do it, your state of mind on the nation. Just your take on every little bit that is going on right now. I'll start with you, Hamedat.
Okay, so I think for me right now, I'm at a place of indifference, cause an indifference that is closer to being constantly tired. So you know when you're constantly tired and you just see, okay, so what's the way out? I can't not care, but sometimes you just, so this period is just the period of, let me just take a step back and not let it all get to me. But at the same time, it's still a huge optimism in there. There's still a huge optimism in there that, sooner or later, gradually, just sometimes try to pick the pieces together and count the wins as you're counting the losses as well. So I'm just at optimism / indifference for now.
So what about you, Duke? Your state of mind on Nigeria? State of the nation amidst all the politics, and of course NMPCL, Naira for crude deal, everything that is happening, rise and fall of food prices. Is it true? Is it happening or not? Because the president has assured us that results are definitely there. So your state of mind on the nation?
Well, thank you very much. I see hope, absolute hope. I feel for everything to have its success, there's a period of gestation. There's a period we must definitely struggle to see the light at the tunnel. So I see hope for Nigeria. I believe everything is working good for Nigeria. I believe Nigerians are beginning to own their own state, talk about it, solve it, be in the problem, see how it can be solved, and pushing Nigeria forward. So I see hope. I see confidence in the people. I see Nigerians calling the government to be responsive this time around, and you see there is this very closeness between the people and the government this time around. So spontaneously, one issue, the government is reacting. So this is how it's supposed to be. Gradually we'll get there. So I feel hope, I feel confidence in the entity Nigeria.
Well, that's wonderful to know. My two guests this morning, they've come with hope. Optimism and of course hope, which is like a brother and a sister, and so it's a good way for us to begin this morning. Hope for Nigerians. I need a little bit of it because sometimes, like you rightly said, the whole situation tend to weigh you down.
Of
But
course.
somewhere in the mud, somewhere in that darkness and mist, you just have to keep hope alive. Okay, let us start our analysis this morning. Like I said, two trending stories are holding deep in our hearts, and which is of course the final unveiling of El-Rufai. Now the man El-Rufai was born on 16th of February 1960. He served as governor of Kaduna State from 2015 to 2023. He also served as minister of the FCT 2003 to 2007. He was also director of the Bureau of Public Enterprise and of course a founding member of the APC. That is the man El-Rufai, who is at the middle of discussion both for the literate and the non-literate. The streets this morning, when you go where they buy papers, the gathering, that is virtually what everyone is talking about. So I want to start with you, Hamedat, this morning. This is not the first time that El-Rufai has left a party. In fact, this is the third party, the third defection that we are witnessing, and the Nigerian grammar is cross-carpeting, which is, I think, that's found its way into the dictionary now, because Nigeria, we have our own language, to drive home the point. And of course, everyone here. So this is not the first time. This is the third that we are seeing. Now, if you go back and try to analyze, where we're coming from and how we got here with El-Rufai, a lot of people will say have different opinions. The fact that a lot of people have said that the only reason why he's upset, the only reason why he started talking against or saying everything that he was saying about the APC was the fact that he was not made minister. That if he had been made minister, all of this drama that we're seeing wouldn't have happened. All right, those are opinions of others. I want to hear your opinion, the unfolding of El-Rufai, in quote, and of course, the new bride, the SDP. Your opinion this morning.
Firstly, I think this is the most interesting way to start the week, to be honest, because it's very interesting when you see politics, when you see politicians play politics. So when you shock people all the time, I'm kind of confused, to be honest, because he's a founding member of APC, but according to him, in his words, there is now an ideological differences. They no longer stand for the same thing. It means the vision and mission no longer align with him. So in my book, I would think it is fair if something is no longer serving you, you let it go, or you move to something else. And it's also a possibility, the ministerial withholding thing, it could also be a possibility as to why he's taking this decision, which is also fair enough if you ask me, because he's a public servant, but at the same time he also has an obligation to himself. So if he feels like he deserved that and he did not get that, and he see that as a reason enough to want to move somewhere else, I think it's fair enough. What I would think Nigerians should be looking forward to in the coming days is the trajectory of how all of this is going to play out, with who and who is going to move with him. Because politics has a big thing on loyalty, here and there. Everybody wants to know where you lie. So I am more interested in seeing how that is going to play out. Who are the people that are going to decamp with him? And he had also said something about forming stronger opposition with other parties against him. The APC had said, their spokesperson had said, oh, this is just because of the ministerial this, that. But I would like to see what this coalition is going to look like in the coming future. To see the powers, the parties, and the people now that would come together. It's just an interesting dynamic that I would like to see how it is going to play out. But all in all, I can't say it's a good decision or a bad decision. I think that would be too soon to conclude. And what we should do is actually see how it all plays out. But I wouldn't have said it's a bad decision if I had to say something about that. But it's just an interesting dynamic that I like to see. And people tend to just forget that. People think because you are a politician or you are with one party, there are many parties in Nigeria, and I think there's a free will to move here or there as you please, and I think he has exercised that free will now. So I'm just more interested in seeing what games are going to come up in the coming weeks, who are the people, and which parties is it now going to align SDP with to form a stronger opposition, and we'll see what that opposition holds for us as Nigerians generally.
Yes, indeed. Now, I put something from what you said, the fact that, no, there's a big question, Duke. Now, the question is, why did he leave the PDP? Why did he leave the PDP? And when he was asked the question, he had something to say. And just exactly what Hamedat said, that since, according to him, since 2013, his personal values as a person and those of the APC were not aligning anymore. That's what he said. I'm quoting what El-Rufai said. That is since 2013. So when people say, oh, it was because he wasn't made a minister, that he said no, that wasn't the reason why. That since 2013, he started discovering that his values were not aligning with that of the party. And in the past 2 years, it got to a climax where he got choked up because the desire, and the desire of those in the APC, those in control, were not aligning. He discovered that there were problems, and those challenges were not acknowledged or tackled. Those were his reasons given. But as one who, follow politics and one who have followed this story unfolding from the beginning, of course, we take our bearing from the fact that he was not made a minister. I don't know if you agree to, the analysis that, the whole problem started from there. Because this man is saying 2013, he's saying 2 years ago, and meanwhile, he was governor of Kaduna State just 2023, not just recently. So I would want your take on this latest trend.
Okay, I think it's laughable. It's quite laughable if El-Rufai will come to the public domain to say he lost confidence in the APC just as soon as he left government. If he's quoting 2023, the implication here is that just as soon as he left government, he got fed up with the party that brought him into power. The party is served. The party is stood through the elections, the electionary period, to bring in a governor, first of all, in the state. Secondly, to bring in a presidential candidate whom he solely and with his team campaigned for in the northern region of Nigeria. It's laughable. I think solely that it degrades the personality, the respect I have for him. Is one person I've seen with very good eye level of responsibility. Mostly when I was working with the Rotimi Ameshi's family. He is a close friend to the family. But I see what I deduce from all of this is politicians have their way. Like she rightly said, the right to association is what he's practicing. But I don't think he wants to drag Nigerians into that deceptive impression that he's moving because ideology changed. Ideology never changed. All the political parties, they all have their manifestos. And if you take a good look at all of them, they are similar. We've also have in past governments telling us they will do A, B, C, D. When they come to power, we don't even see A, to talk of A, B. And politicians should remain in their political parties and restructure, reconstitute these values. It's like a father having children and at 13 years old, the father say, oh no, this was not my plan for these children. They've derailed from 13 years old. No, they are no more my children. You remove them and then now say another set of children that is born by another man and now your children. I don't think it works that way. I still want to say it's quite deceptive. El-Rufai is degrading his value, his political value in this country. I think it should stop. From the PDP, he had issues, still the same issues of power tussles. He went to the APC. They formed the APC. I think they're the new PDP in the APC. Right from that time, Buhari ruled throughout. He was very predominant as governor in the party. 2023, a strong coalition again. They formed themselves in the APC, produced Asiwaju, and if in the line of sharing power, and it didn't fall into a particular clause or a particular level of power given. I think that shouldn't be a problem. That shouldn't change the ideology. Please, we are all aware that so many policies at the initial stage of this government seem so stiff. And people, even the lower cadre, the common people that believe in the political party APC are not defected. We are all still dying in these same policies that seem like was going to drown Nigeria. We are all, Nigerians are enduring the period, hoping that these policies will manifest into something good for the country. So at what point is El-Rufai coming out to say that he is fed up with the APC? He has not told Nigerians clearly those policies that they had as a party to affect or to cushion the sufferings of Nigerians that failed. So that because of these reasons, he is moving to a party, in your words, the bride, a party that is stainless, a party that is going to deliver Nigerians, a party that is going to stand firm and far better than the PDP and the APC. This is not true. It's high time. See, we are now so involved in this matter that no politician again can say. If you go to see what netizens are saying online, it's derogatory. You come to when you have interest, you try to bring the Nigerian citizens into it to maneuver. No, it doesn't work that way again. You must come clearly to say these are the policies that are not working. These are what this government is not doing. That you feel that it's time. Yes, it's time to part with them. Not to say because of the. It is clear. El-Rufai was not given the chance to become a minister, and he is very upset with it. He is that kind of person, and he's very upset with it. There is no need to undermine this government. Look, without praising the government, let me tell you something. We all agreed at the inception of the government, there were some policies that seem like very difficult. Most importantly, the removal of fuel subsidy was like a drowning drum in the ears of everybody. But what is happening today now? We are recovering because so many things from that process is beginning to fix itself. The will and ability to take that decision was a problem to past presidents. Somebody came, he took it, damned all the consequences. El-Rufai cannot today even rely on that premises, because we're beginning to reap the benefit of those policies that were taken.
Well, that's the way we're starting the show this morning on our analysis of the front pages of the newspaper. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the phone lines will be open so you too can call in and have your voice heard. We'll take that break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
we blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTANTV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Take a look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Yes, welcome back once again. Nice to know that you're there watching the show and just following, making sure that you're ready to give your contribution when the time is right, which is right now. The phone lines are open, so you can call in and be part of the discussion this morning. My guests are still here, Hamedat, Abdulsalam, and Comrade Duke Alamboye. They are both still in the house. Now we want to continue with our discussion with the man El-Rufai, who is at the middle of our discussion this morning. The question I want to ask, following from what Duke said before we went on the break, is the fact that we try to analyze and differentiate between personal interest and national interest, because in Nigerian politics there seems to be a clash of these two forces in our politics. And in this situation, I would want your take on where to draw the line between personal interest and national interest in respect to El-Rufai's decision to leave the APC for the SDP. One thing we must understand is he is actually one of the founding fathers, in quote, of the present APC. Like Duke pointed out, another caucus was formed to ensure that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu becomes president. And when you put all of this information side by side, for a lot of Nigerians, it's difficult to understand the play of politics right now. So where do we draw the line between self-interest and national interest, not just for El-Rufai, but Nigerian politician as a whole?
Okay, so I think firstly, what seems to look like a clash between the personal interest and the national interest is the lack of critical thinking from Nigerians. Because if you think well enough, the lines are not blurry, they are quite clear. But sometimes we are too quick to place people as heroes or what's something else in that line that sometimes you think they are for us, while everything they've shown is just to say that my personal interest is, I might have national interest, but my personal interest is obviously higher than that. But because Nigerians are so quick to, just, should I say, follow blindly now without asking the right questions, trying to even if it's at the minimal, critically analyze or think about certain things, it tends to blur our vision to see that line blurry, not because the line itself is blurry. But in this case of this news headline of El-Rufai moving particularly, from my viewpoint, it looks more of a personal interest move than a national interest move. There might be, some atom here and there of the national interest in the long run or in his full plans, because he has not come out to say so much. He has just said there's now ideological differences and all of that. So you moving because of that is obviously something that is personal to you. So in the future or in the coming weeks, we might start seeing it from an aspect of the national interest, where we are saying that, okay, this is the plan that this person has. He has said this, that. Not we assuming for him. This is what he has said as to how he plans to, unite Nigeria, progress Nigeria's development and growth and every other thing. None of that has happened in the course of this movement from APC to SDP. So this is obviously based on him and his person alone. So
now let me just take a little bit from something that Duke said. You're like telling it again. Him leaving the APC, he talked about his values clashing with the present leadership of the APC, but it didn't actually spell out the problems. It didn't spell out the policies that are driving him really going gaga, that would make him, aside of the fact that he didn't get the ministerial nomination, for him to leave and actually plan to take a lot of people along, presently. So that is another problem that I would really want explained.
Yeah, like he already said, it's, should I use the word vague? Because it's very surface level as it is now. It's just, like I earlier said, it did not come to say, okay, it is due to these policy issues or whatnot that we are making this decision. It's just based off him and him alone, and is trying now to form, according to him, form an opposition party by, a coalition with other opposition parties and come together to fight APC, which is more of a thing of El-Rufai versus APC, using other parties. That's what it seems like. So from every angle that we are looking at it, with the amount of information that we have now, there's no national interest at play here. It is purely personal interest. That might change in the coming weeks, we can never tell. But for now, it is just what it is. I would just love if Nigerians could just take a little bit more time to step out of their "is my hero" shoe and just critically analyze what is going on. Of course, we all have the free will to support whoever we like, but at the same time, it should not cloud our judgment and biases.
Okay. So please let us put the phone lines on the screen so our viewers can call in and be part of the conversation this morning. Please let the calls start coming in this moment so you too can have your say. So the same question that I asked Hamedat, I'm going to ask Duke. How do we separate personal interest from national interest, or how do we, should I say marry both? Should it be both, not just in this situation, but across board, in the heart of all politicians in Nigeria? But of course, we want to make that reflect on the situation right now. El-Rufai leaving the APC to the SDP. Where do you separate both, or at this moment?
Okay, when we discuss national, when we're in national discourse, I don't think there's any role for personal interest. Personal interests are embedded in the party formation. So people of like minds comes to form a political parties, and their like minds are their ideologies, are their values. So that is why a citizen can state to say, I'll choose party A to party B because of the party's ideologies, values, and what have you. Those values and ideologies are activities, decisions of individuals in the party. So therefore, when you say you are leaving the political parties because the ideology are changed, you're not, number one, you're not the only person in that political space. You're not the only leader taking decision for that political parties. And there is no time 100% you will have your way in that space. There are times that the values and the decisions will outweigh you. There are times that they will go your line. So
I think we have a call. Hello.
Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
I am Mr. Soyombo Tolani.
Soyombo. Tolani, please go ahead. Yes. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Concerning the new development in the policy, then El-Rufai moved from APC to SDP. For me, I'm not surprised at all.
Why not? Why are you not surprised?
That means character. Yeah, I did the character from PDP to CPC to AD. So what matters to me is his own personal interest. In what is Kaduna that he is from, he has lost political integrity in Kaduna State. Let him go and contest if he can win by Kaduna State. So he's looking for discredited elements like him to form a party. That won't work. So by the end of the day, he will lose his career. That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your call. So
yeah, I started this program by saying that Nigerians are so involved. It's not easy to, once you say something, they analyze it in so many ways for you that even I said it. So these our leaders, political leaders, need to be very extremely careful what they do, what they say, and at what time they do it. El-Rufai had no national interest in moving from one party to the other. Like I was illustrating, the party has its own formation. There are leaders that talk and decide for the parties. Let me take a close example of what's his name, our past president Obasanjo. He had remained in the political party. He kept writing to the party leadership to disagree on some policies, on some moves the party was making. I don't want to say those tenures, but you see, these are the strategies he used, not isolating himself from those decisions, but still in the party, writing to them to say this is a bad policy, I think this should be done and all that. El-Rufai could as well take a lead from such activities or such characters to say, hammer on policies, hammer on decisions that is hitting the economy up, and be talking on that line. Let me without praising, also praising what's his name, the Labour Party candidate. He has done very well. You know, when you begin to set oppositions around government policies, you put the government to sit properly and not jumping from one political party to the other. Government is formed. Government is making policies that drive the economy and drive the nation. If they are derailing, put it to the public domain, criticize it publicly, and let people, whether you're in the party or not, it's not time to discuss party this time around. It's time to discuss Nigerian governance, how Nigeria can move forward. And if a particular policy or several policies are drowning the country, discuss it, bring it to the fore, let Nigerians see that distinctly you are making a case for the country. Not because one nomination didn't come. And I'm sure if you dig deep, he has been left alone or left aside in the political cycle for the Kaduna political decision making. So I think it's really drowning him. Politically, I want to say that he is cool taking that decision, because at his level, he wants to be where his counterparts are. But unfortunately for him, the party is not seeing him in that light. And if that's the reason why he's leaving, he should tell Nigerians that, look, because of my personal interest. So many persons have come to say, because of my family and my personal interest, I'm not playing politics. Because of my personal interest and my family, I'm leaving party A to party B. It's quite clear that to say the party is intact, the party is still deliberating. They are making mistakes, correcting themselves, and they are going on while holding the helm of affairs of the country, pushing the country. And Nigerians have not left the country. Why is El-Rufai leaving this party, if not for personal interest?
Okay, I think we have a call. Hello. Good morning.
I'm Awusko from Kaduna.
Awusko.
Thank you.
Awusko, go ahead. How is Kaduna this morning?
Kaduna is cool, only heat is so intense.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, you see, Governor El-Rufai ran a Gestapo kind of administration in Kaduna, where pain and misery were meted to the common man. Their means of livelihood was impaired by his policies. And when he saw that Jagaban was selling through, because it was one of the elements, that were against the forthcoming of Jagaban. But when Jagaban was sailing through, he had to do a somersault, and they took that case of Emefiele to court and whatever transpired. Then he became a disciple of Jagaban. But before that, he had gone to Lagos to give a sermon on how to fulfill godfatherism in Nigerian politics. You see, it's a double standard, and he's not a man to be trusted. Because he has sabotaged people like Wazir of Adamawa, Obasanjo, and others. But his message should be looked into, because APC is truly derailing. I know of Tinubu. Tinubu was a pro-democrat.
He was among the people who fought for the enthronement of democracy in Nigeria. And the ideas of those pro-democracy was to drive the military and give Nigeria an egalitarian government. Although his policies are very painful, like the removal of subsidy, on petroleum and electricity. I know he will deliver, but he should look at it the second time. The pains are too much. He should relieve Nigerians of pain, so that we will give him the second time because he's on the right track. But he must make sure Nigeria become an egalitarian state. Nowhere some people think Nigeria belongs to them. Nigeria must belong to every Nigerian, and every Nigerian can aspire to the presidency of Nigeria. Nigeria is not a presidency of only the north and the southwest. What about the southeast? So Tinubu should make his policy friendly and people's oriented. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I was called from Kaduna. Thank you. Keep the calls coming in so we can have your take on the conversation this morning. So you have it. We've had 2 callers call from, okay, I think we have another call. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Engineer Ayo calling from Ogun State.
Ogun State. Please go ahead, Engineer Ayo.
El-Rufai leaving APC, I can say, is for personal interest.
Okay.
You see, you hardly see a Nigerian politician fighting for national interest. Now, when you look at El-Rufai, the moment he left APC, his first excuse was that it was Tinubu that blocked him from becoming minister. Right? So you can see that his pain. There are some decisions that Tinubu made that is not favoring him. So it's not that he left APC because of national interest. He has not said anything as regards national interest in all of his excuses. So there is no item of truth that is left for national interest. All of them are preparing for 2027. But by God's grace, I realize that the Nigerians are crying, but I still have hope in Tinubu.
Thank you so much.
So you should just try to put the majority of the masses in consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayo. Thanks for calling in. Yes, the phone lines are still open. Call in, and of course, you get heard. So at this point, let us move away. Let us digress and take a look at River State. Let us digress. The phone lines are open. You can still talk about whatever you want to talk about on these 2 issues, which is River State, and of course, because of time, we have to go straight to River State. Fubara has been given 48 hours to resign or face impeachment. The conditions given, 2 that I will pick up is disrespecting Bola Tinubu, and of course, the legal backing, legal backing by the Supreme Court, which has already provided sufficient evidence against the governor regarding the need for further investigation or no need for further investigation. That's the next topic or the next focus of discussion this morning. But before then, let us take a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, KAFTANTV.
Yes, Mohammed from Maiduguri. Nice to have you this morning.
My greeting to all the panelists.
Thank you very much.
So, Mohammed, go ahead. What do you have for us today?
Please, because of that, let me quickly just make a word. You see, as if my Oga, the chief accountant with the court, is saying that all politicians are the same. I agree with you. All politicians are the same, regardless of the political party. To me, all political parties are just a vehicle to convey them to the National Assembly. But that is one thing. But my concern is President Bola Tinubu's style of administration, that people went out to vote for him, like myself. We just that one. So now, he is bringing in policies of this World Bank, IMF, and all these policies that are not really am not in the government to picture how they find those things difficult or whatever. But the truth of the matter is the problem of Nigeria mostly are caused by Nigerians. Example of what I will complain about the government is, for example, if you come to Christmas Day, if President insists that on 20th of December, every worker and pensioners have taken their salary, it will work. But many times it is being ignored. For Salah, for example, people are celebrating their Salah. The President can insist that, look, the Captain General, make sure you pay all the salaries and pensions before that festivity, so that my people at the grassroots will have something at hand to run to the market. It will work. Those are the few things that affect Nigerians more than all this big money that's being announced on the page of newspaper. I think there's a gap of communication between the government and the people on the grassroots. This is one thing, and that is what the politicians are capitalizing on, to manipulate this and that. Look, the time of issuing Indomie and spaghetti to vote for somebody is over. People have already seen what we've never seen before. Nobody thought price of fuel, petrol, 1 liter would be 1,000 naira plus. Nobody thought about it. So now that we have tested the bigger aspect of it, we now understand that, look, you don't need to come and tell us stories any longer. Any politicians, who I'm not talking about whether any of the parties, I'm giving general view of all the politicians. Because National Assembly, where they give them jeep, all of them collected it. I think they are all for a different party. Nobody came back and said, I don't want to collect this jeep because my people are suffering. You know, so for that reason, my sister, we don't need to deceive ourselves. All of us as Nigerians, today as it is now, we are suffering. I think we are in fasting period now. Christians are doing the Lent. Muslims are doing fasting. We are all praying to God. The same God that created the Christian and Muslim is listening to us and watching us all about us. We will continue to pray to God. Anybody who has a good thing, good plan that's trying to help the masses, God should give him more time. Anybody who is against us, favoring white men and creating more difficulties for us as Nigerians, we will pray to God. God will answer our prayers. Honestly speaking, we did the same prayer in Abuja, national prayer, Abacha, and all of them within a single time. God changed them and Obasanjo came in. So I am not praying against anybody, but I'm praying for the good of Nigeria. Please, we should keep hope alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you so much. The man with the went depot. At one moment, my heart just when I was talking about it, I didn't know the next thing it was going to say. I was just praying it doesn't call any. This is serious. This is serious. Okay, let us, because of time, we don't have time. Let us go to River State. 48 hours to resign or face impeachment. Again, there seem to be different camps in terms of this decision, some for and some against. But let me take the first one, legal. The fact that he's been accused of disrespecting Bola Tinubu following concerns of rejection of political solution to the crisis in River State. I would want a Duke to start on the River State. I think you're from there. So that's your state. That's your state, Duke. Please, what is going on in your states?
Well,
it was 48 hours to drop the budget. 2025 budget. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
My name is Adam from Dogwa.
Your name is what, please?
My name is Adam from Dogwa, Kano State.
Okay, Adam from Kano. Please go ahead, Adam.
You're welcome to.
Go ahead, Adam.
I have a program.
You what?
I am having program.
Thank you. Go ahead, please. What's your contribution this morning?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I think he said I'm happy. That means he's enjoying the program. That's what he's trying to say.
I think he just called in
to appreciate us. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Duke, I know you don't like talking about River State. Yes. You're from that state, and we're discussing it today. So please let us understand this 48 hours ultimatum. Yes. This is the second 48 hours we're getting.
Yes. I think the governor needs to do the needful.
Which is?
Yeah, which is obeying the Supreme judgment of the Supreme Court. And if he is waiting for the Federal High Court to give judgments that the 27 members, the 24 members or so, 27 members are not legitimate, I think is still digging to more loom. The Supreme Court, in their wisdom, had gone further to touch on that judgment, saying that the 27 members should go back to work. And the CTC is out. It is well explained. Ab initio, these issues wouldn't have been issues if not for the same personal interest we are talking about. The 27 members are presently legitimate in the eyes of the law. The fight between the lawmakers and the governor is not tribal. It's not sentimental. It's quite constitutional. And by crook or any means, however you want to see it, as a Nigerian, as Nigerians, the Supreme Court is the final arbiter for such decision, except we're going to see God, who is supreme. However, none of us living on earth can locate God to change the judgment. So be it as it may, the governor needs to do everything within his powers to ensure that he keeps to that judgment, to avoid these kind of ultimatums and latches that is being given to him. I don't want to believe that he is still accommodating Philippines, political, I don't know what to describe them, jobbers around him to misconstrue the judgment of the Supreme Court. We heard on social media that he has written to the National Assembly through the State Secretary, which I condemn. In all sense of reasoning, this is the best time to see the judgment of the Supreme Court as a means of restoring peace in the state.
But he called for a peace gathering.
The governor is supposed to write directly, signed by the governor, addressed to the State Assembly, not writing a letter through the Secretary of the State Government and pasting it on social media's front. It is embarrassing. See, if we begin to, you could play with regional matters. You could play with any matter, but when the matter concerns constitution and that the Supreme Court had made a pronouncement on it, you have to be extremely careful on how you handle it.
Because of time, because we'll soon be rounding up, I just want Hamedat's take before we round up this morning on the Fubara situation.
I think Governor Fubara is a really interesting man. Because it's almost as if one would think to avoid all these issues, this is the solution.
Yes.
But you have chosen to avert from the solution. I want to believe his confidence in the fact that if an impeachment comes through, he's going to see it through. Because I guess that could be the only reason why this has dragged for so long. Because I don't know why opposition would mean that you lay off people in the House of Assembly and also because the political space is obviously made up of different parties who, when they are all there, have to work together for the betterment of the state or of the nation. So, looking from the reasons that I had seen in articles, in news, about why he had let go of the 27 House members in the first place, and then the Supreme Court has reinstated them. And I had heard that they had a reconciliation meeting where he was supposed to uphold 8 things to restore peace, but he had done 6 and not the whole 8. What is just, I don't know. I think maybe there's a bigger agenda here for him that we can't see, because if not, one would expect that at this point, where the issue of, I think they need 2/3 of the House to be able to impeach him also. Exactly. And if it is coming to a point where that much people who are supposed to work with you in the legislative are now pushing for your impeachment, and you are still at this standpoint of, I'm not going to, to shake or do anything, it means you have, it's probably certain that he has done nothing wrong. So if he's certain that he has done nothing wrong, maybe you should go ahead with the impeachment and let's see what the outcome of that will be. At least they are going to carry out an investigation. So it's either they find you guilty or not. So it's probably certain that they wouldn't find him guilty or something, and that is why he's towing this way that he is.
I wish we could go on and on this morning, but time is not our friend, and we've been told that our time is up on the press this morning, this Tuesday morning. But we want to appreciate everyone who called in. Shoyombo from Abeokuta, Abosko from Kaduna, Engineer Ayo from Ogun State, Mohammed from Maiduguri, and of course the gentleman Adam from Kano who called just to appreciate us. We appreciate all of you for calling, and of course my wonderful guest this morning, Hamedat Abdulsalam, and of course Comrade Duke Alamboye. Thank you so much for honoring my invite to be on the show this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, this is my beat on Tuesday. Next week, make sure you keep a date with me on the press. I am Anire Binitie. Stay positive and bye for now.